Cyclist.io.
What is up, Hardcore Nation? Hardcore here. Welcome to episode 3 of season 3 of Life Behind the Pros. We've got a packed show tonight for you. We got tonight coming on the show. We're going to have Andrea Rogers from the women's pro class. We're going to have Mike Horwat from the 40C class, Nick Lambruno from the Silver Masters 55 plus class. We're also going to get a chance to talk to Seth Wilson with the new East Coast Race Series and talk about the local opening weekend coming up for all of our local series. So we got a lot of stuff going on. We got a lot to get through. So we are going to jump right in. Couple things I want to share with you just as reminders that during the show, here, I'm going to bring it up. All right, during the show, if you can jump on the comments and let us know that you're here. Nikki Wilhelm, thanks. Hello, dear. Appreciate you being here. And if then at the end of the show, you can hang around. If you will enter hashtag Hardcore Nation in the comments, it will automatically enter you in our drawing for the end of the show to give away some swag. Last week, we kind of forgot to do it. So we're going to give it another swing this week and see if we can get it to work correctly. Yeah, we did it last week, but I meant we didn't do it live. We forgot to do it on the show, and then we kind of did it afterwards. So we're really hoping that we can make it work this time. So again, if you're on here, please comment where you're tuning in from. Let us know who's on here so we can say hi. And then later on in the show, we're going to do the hashtag Hardcore Nation for the giveaway. All right. So first thing we're going to jump into tonight is we had our first round of ATV Fantasy last show, and we're going to bring back. Did
somebody say fantasy?
Somebody said fantasy.
Who said fantasy? Who said points? Who said stats?
That is our former co-host of the show and my son, ex-Sealay, Clay Harvey, is joining us tonight, and he is going to break down the ATV fantasy points because he does everything by analytics. Yep. And he doesn't even know these guys, but he looks at the results, their times, their lap times, and he makes total picks off of data and analytics. So we're going to see how he did tonight. We also got a winner that we're going to show the winner of the first round of ATV fantasy for this week as well. So ex-Sealay, welcome back. Welcome back,
hey,
buddy.
Good to be back. Glad to be back in the hot seat. And I think today is a good reflection of the difference between analytics and actually knowing and getting boots on the ground and that kind of thing, because I absolutely – okay, so the first two categories that we picked last week were Warrior ATV for the AM and then XC2 for the PM.
Correct.
So in the PM, I absolutely – destroyed the points. I got everything right. Everybody on the podium, everybody in the correct position on the podiums. But
you weren't the only one.
That's true. One of our submissions got the exact same XC2 rundown. But in the Warrior class is where I started to fall off because I think you had somebody come.
There was a ringer. Aaron Hendershot showed up to the races. And he had not raced the first two rounds, and he showed up and put a spanking on the guys in the Warrior class. So Aaron Hendershot upset the ATV fantasy picks because no one knew he was even going to be there.
No, riding on a Yamaha. Hometown is Mansfield, Ohio, and actually finished 6 minutes faster than Chris did, who came in second place, who I did have on the podium for first place, but I had no data on this Aaron beast who came into the scene.
So the X factor for next round when we're picking, if they'd happen to be the Warrior class again, is the big question mark will be, is Aaron Hendershot going to be running the series, or was that just a one-off race that he just kind of showed up to check things out?
I don't know. That's where I fall short because I have less data to work with. So we'll just have to see how he does later in the season.
I promise you I'm going to have an advantage because I will be at the next race. Just to give everybody a quick update on our situation, we are going to set out one more week at the local races, and then we are going to make an attempt to come back and put our leg over the seat and go again and see how it goes. So
it's not going to go well.
It's going to go well. Don't listen to her. It's going to go well.
Addition to the peanut gallery, I don't have an overlay for the peanut gallery.
Echo. All right, so Clay, let's jump in here.
Okay.
Let's show the points breakdown for this first round. So folks, this is our first round. Of course, XC-Lay and myself will be always battling on the ATV fantasy points against one another. I'm going to pick based on the guys I know and how I think they run week in and week out. And XC-Lay is going to pick strictly on the numbers. So it's interesting to see how this breaks down. So here you can see from the first round of ATV fantasy that the old hardcore here didn't fare so well. Third in points of the entries, and of course Xander White is our guest winner. His entries got the most points. We did have Clay and I, and we had 5 other entries besides Clay and I. So congratulations to Xander White for being our guest winner of the week. We'll have Xander, we'll get a hold of you, get an address from you, and get you some sponsorship swag out for winning this week's round of ATV Fantasy. Now, you can see there underneath the old hardcore under the Warrior. There we go. Thank you. Annette Kiger for Hardcore Nation. Appreciate you doing that. So we had in the Warrior class, I had Chris Ballou, Wesley Smith, and then I had Jerry Arbogast. I was picking him to come out of the cheap seats and pick up a podium finish. And of course, I didn't get any points there. XC-Lay, you also did not do that well in the Warrior class.
No, in the Warrior class, I didn't do so hot. I had same as you, Chris in first, and then Wesley in second, but then Cody Nickstruff just right below. If Aaron would have showed up, I would have had a clean sweep again, and it would have been number 1 for the analytics side. But the X factor of Aaron Hendershot came in on his Yamaha and just swept the Warrior class.
All right, real quick, Clay, I got to give a shout out to Larry Mills joining us from DP Brakes. Larry, appreciate you tuning into the show. And now that Larry's back from his Southern swing to Bike Week and everything, Larry's going to be a guest here on the show real soon, possibly even next week. We've got some things to share from DP Brakes that are going to be pretty exciting for folks to get a chance to be involved in. So, Larry, appreciate you joining in as well. And all right, we got Troy Golden. Hell yeah, watching from Dunbar to see my famous friend. Well, he must be talking about somebody that's coming up here on the show later. Caleb Bennett, I think out of Parkersburg. He says, what's happening, Jeff? My Hardcore Harvey graphics will be done soon. That is from Endorphin Graphics. Caleb got the deal on the graphics that Ken Keffer was willing to give to somebody who was interested in running the Hardcore Harvey background on their graphics kit. So that's pretty cool. Thanks for tuning in. We've got Aaron Wolk chilling in Cincy. I hear Mike is going live, so maybe Mike can tell us a little bit about who that is and bring us up to speed. So we've also got Shari on here. Shari, good to see you, honey. Appreciate you being here. You're kind of required. Your family, you're required to watch.
Did we have a Shari submission on fantasy last week?
Not the first week, but I'm pretty sure she's going to get back involved here pretty soon.
She waxed us a couple of times whenever we were doing it last season.
She did 100%. All right, Clay, XC2 class. Of course, Jay Shadron. I thought it was going to be a little upset there because going into the last lap, Jay Shed was not actually in the lead. He took the lead, I think, about a quarter mile from the finish. And then brought it in the number 1 spot. Brandon Owens in a solid number 2 spot. I think he was just a few seconds off of Jay Shad's time. And then I had Tanner Walker from the 9-2 crew coming in the 3rd place spot. Was trying to send him some positive vibes for a 3rd place podium finish. I didn't get any points for him.
No.
And you waxed the class here with the XC2 calls.
Yep. Me and Xander both, I think, on both the AM and the PM, we picked the exact same roster.
You
So
guys.
whenever it came to points, we just tied up. So does that mean like I get some swag too, or am I
Well,
swag exclusionary, or what is
well,
this?
yes. No. Since you kind of indicated you didn't have anything but some old sponsorship
Yeah, I
swag
had
from
to.
last year, you had to bring out the Spartan shirt. So we're going to have to get you some swag you can wear for the show as well. So
Sounds good.
sounds good. All right, buddy. So there's our ATV fantasy points, 21, 21, and 17 for the hardcore, coming in third place. Of course, XC Lay and Xander both are going to be our winners this week. Congrats to them. So now that we've got week one under our belt there, XC Lay.
Larry will get him a shirt.
There you go. Larry Mills says, I'll get you a shirt.
Hey, there we go. I'll take whatever I can get. Yeah, I had to wear the Spartan shirt today.
Larry, I think I got a few shirts. I can spare him one. All right, so we're going to get into our ATV fantasy picks for GNCC Round 4. And we're going to bring that up on the screen. Here we go. All right, so
this is for next week. These are the two categories that everybody will be picking for next week.
This is
right?
two weeks away.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So this is at the next national. This is our AM classes. We're going to spin our random wheel selector, and then whatever class comes up will be the class that's going to be highlighted for the morning class. We'll do the same for the PM class. And then we'll talk just a brief minute, Clay, about what we're going to do next Tuesday, because you and I are actually we're going to give each other a week to get our picks ready. On next Tuesday's show, we're going to pick live, and also hopefully we can have other folks pick with us, kind of live in the comments, or we can even have some people on, and they have the way they can get on the shows. They got to be part of the fantasy picks. They got to pick.
That's right.
All right, here we go. So AM fantasy class for round 4 GNCC. Hope it goes on the hardcore one to pick.
Yep.
Oh, that is going to be a good one, Clay.
Let me see. I'm trying to pull them up. Is it women's C? Is that the amateur?
No. Women's amateur. That is going to be a great group to pick. That is Morgan Johnson, Chloe Harper. There's this new young lady that's come out of nowhere that I not know. She's been battling for the top 3, so that is going to be a tough one to pick right there. When you go to analytics, that's going to be a tough pick, buddy.
That is extremely tough because Morgan Johnson is leading. Actually, it's tied for the lead right now between Morgan Johnson and the Yamaha on the 251 Brunderly.
Yes.
So Morgan got second, third, and first. And then Brunderly got third, first, and second, so they're tied.
All right.
And
here, I just brought it up for everybody.
There you go.
That's what this new technology allows us to do, man.
I'm saying Nikki Wilhelm's on a podium.
Hey, my wife from the cheap sheets is calling out Nikki Wilhelm to put it on the podium.
All right. But
all right,
Chloe's not too far behind first and second, only two points behind. She had a good first start to the season, getting a first and then a second. But then at the third round, she got a 5th place, kind of dragging her down a little bit. But we'll see how she performs on round 4.
Listen, that's tough whenever there are 3 races and 3 different winners. So that's going to be interesting. That's an exciting one to pick. So, all right, we are going to go on to our.
Now we're going to do the PM, right?
We're going to do the PM. So in the afternoon, our class will be, here we go.
Ooh. You got what? Vet B?
We got Vet B.
Vet B 30 plus. I know. It was creeping.
It's a senior B.
So,
hold on, let me pull it up here.
No dice. We got Vet B 30 plus. Looks like first place we got Ryan Simmons. Second place we got David Kite, and then third place we got Taylor Lizelle.
Hey, look, that's
quite a little bit of point spread, but not too. It'll be tough to pick.
Yeah, that's another one. Look, there's been 2 different winners in 2 rounds.
Right.
So, yeah, we got couple guys in there that I know are getting faster. Derek Hart, I know he used to run with us back a few years ago, so he's coming on as well. Ryan Simmons is always going to be consistent, solid, always going to have a solid finish. So those are going to be some classes. They're going to be tough.
I see one sleeper right now. If you just look at the number 5 spot, Corey Pancake, he had a second place finish in the first round, but missed the second, and then a third in the third round. So he's very consistent when he does show up, but wasn't able to make the second round. He'd be one to keep an eye on.
That's true, brother. That is true. All right, man. So I'm going to pull this down now. Get us back here in the mix, and
looks like we got some Ryan Simmons fans in the chat right now.
What? Oh, go Ryan Simmons. Who's that? Oh, check this out. So Shari sends my grandson Grayson. He is watching the show live with his Kenda shirt on. So he's got more sponsor swag, Clay, than you do, buddy.
That's true. That's the hierarchy of the Harvey family.
Absolutely.
I'm on the bottom as usual.
Kids first. So, all right, Clay, dude. So, folks, we are going to pick live next Tuesday night. We'd really like you guys to get involved and maybe have your picks ready. You can be part of the picking with Clay and I, with XCLay and I during the next show on Tuesday at 7 p.m. And so that's going to wrap up our ATV fantasy for this week. And we are going to get ready, and we're going to bring on our first guest. And this gentleman has kind of come out of nowhere. He is, let me here pull up his intro slide. Mike Horwat is running the senior 40 plus C class, and we are going to chat with him about everything that is going on with his racing season so far. He's putting on a heck of a show with 3 wins in a row, and also got some other exciting news to share. So we're going to jump in here with him right now. Clay, if you'll pull that overlay down, we can talk to Mike directly.
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on, brother?
Not much.
Hey, welcome to the show, man. So this time you're officially live, so you can't mess up. Everybody's listening,
right?
Hey, so first of all, man, thank you for coming on the show, sharing some time with us, and secondly, dude, congratulations on a killer start to 2022 for you, man. You are coming out of the gates on a tear.
Oh, thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your background real quick. I know you ran this class last year, and just kind of bring us up to speed to where we are right now.
Last year was my first year of racing quad. I raced bike before that, and I just always wanted to give it a try. So I built one over winter and come out last year racing, and was in the mix, had fun. Battled a little, missed a few rounds with COVID and some stuff going on. So it kind of took me out of the points battle. So I was very gung-ho to come in this year swinging and trying to do good.
Well, I'd say that there's a piece of information I'm glad I didn't know about before I asked you to come on the show, and that's you used to race motorcycles.
Yes. Man, all my life.
Man, that's 2 thumbs down, brother.
I know.
Listen, man, welcome to the Four Wheeler family, man. We're glad to have you. And so this year, tell us a little bit in the off season. What'd you do different? Did you do anything different getting ready for this year that's helped you come out in the 2022 season and just lay it down for everybody?
Going into winter, was going to the gym 6 days a week, 5 to 6, pushing really hard. And I got a new job going into winter too, and ended up, I worked at a ski resort. So it went from the gym to I worked 80 hours a week all winter, and wasn't even sure I was going to have my quad ready to go to the first race. I was really almost considering skipping the first round because I was waiting on parts, couldn't get it together. It was last minute I was able to get it together. I actually took it to work and was working on it at work in my off time that I could to get it together.
Well, dude, you pulled it off just in time, man, and obviously you came in shape. You're doing great. So where do you go from here, man? You just going to keep rolling off the wins, or what's your plan?
I really hope. I mean, it's been luck, so I'm gonna try to keep it going and push forward. I would love to get a championship, and my goal is obviously for that. And I want to move to the afternoon 40B. So that's.
Well, listen, there's a couple guys on here with you that can speak from experience. That 40B class, that's a tough row. There's a lot of quick guys back there in that afternoon class, and but that's a great place to race. There's a lot of good racers back there. We wish you luck. Now, our record for wins in a row is 5. So I'm going to lay the challenge down for you to see if you can do better than 5 in a row.
Okay, that sounds good.
So, Mike, before we let you go, man, I know you got one other piece of exciting news we wanted you to share with everybody watching tonight. So, tell us about your announcement, buddy.
Well, my wife races quad too. She races the 30+ class, and she raced Big Buck. I believe she got first there. And right after that, we found out that she is 5 weeks pregnant. So it went from both of us racing to now it's just one of us.
Well, dude, man, congratulations. That's exciting news. So just do us a favor. When you have that kid, make sure the first thing they get on is a 4-wheeler.
Okay.
All right, Mike. Hey, real quick before we let you go, is there anybody you want to say thanks to for getting you this far so far this season?
Yes, my wife, Morgantown Power Sports, Outlaw, GBC, Rhino Power, my buddy Troy that commented on there. He pits me every week, is there anything I need. So IMS, I know I'm forgetting some, but yeah, everybody that has helped me, it's been great. And I have a 16-year-old boy. He's always there helping me and doing good.
Well, Mike, congratulations. Best of luck the rest of the way. Hopefully we're going to see you out the local series as well, and keep this year rolling, buddy. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thank you.
We'll see you, man.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Up next. Up next is the old Wiley veteran along with myself. That is going to be Nick Lambruno, running out of the Silver Masters 55+ class. And we're going to bring him up here. I do apologize, Nick. I tried to get your video off of the internet, but I couldn't make it work. So I went and grabbed a picture I could find off Facebook, just to give you a little intro slide there. So,
hey, it says Bruno Racing, and all the kids at school say we're not allowed to talk about Bruno. I don't know what it means.
There he is. What is up, brother?
What's going on, buddy?
Dude, he sounds good. Audio is excellent. So welcome to the show, man. I know we tried to do this one other time and we had some technical difficulties. We couldn't get you on, but that was all on our end. So we're definitely glad to have you back. Speaking of guys on a tear for 2022, you're making a name for yourself in the Silver Masters class also this year.
Well, it's a little.
Come on, don't be too humble now.
No, it's not all that, man. I don't want to go too crazy on that.
Well, listen, you and I have raced a long time together now. I consider it a long time, and you're a super fast guy. You definitely are putting in the work. I know. Actually, you and I kind of keep each other going. About the time I kind of get sick of it, and like, I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing this. You're like, oh, get out there, and then whenever you kind of get like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this, we try to keep you going as well. But so you got a big win at the General, and then you kind of gave me some stuff about you broke down on the last lap. I'm not sure if that's actually true or not still right now. You still got me guessing. So tell us about your race at the General.
No, it's actually true. I got a good start. As a matter of fact, it was weird because I was so far out front that I actually thought I was going the wrong way. And I actually slowed down and had to look for arrows because there was nobody around me. And then I saw some arrows and I said, well, this is the track. So this is true. So I started riding and I finally caught the class in front of me, started going through them, and then I realized I must be going the right way.
Yeah.
And we went from there, and it was good. I stopped in
I mean, dude, 4 weeks ago, you sent me a picture like you rolled your bike out of the corner from last year, and I wasn't even sure you were gonna like show up.
No, I wasn't sure I was even going to ride, to be honest with you. I do a lot of training because I'm lucky and blessed for work. I have to do it for work. So, I'm in the gym a lot, so I'm in shape, but my bike literally sit in the corner with hunting gear hung over it. And it didn't get touched from last year. And, so I built Caden's bikes. He's a priority, of course.
Yeah.
I had his bikes to work on. And then about a week before the season, I took the hunting clothes off of them and brought them over. And I think I changed the oil, went through them, make sure they were at least would maybe get a lap or two in. And that's no lie. And we took them to the track.
Yeah. So you brought the old thing out of the corner of the track and you turn around and put a win on the board right off the bat. So how you feeling about the rest of the season? Are you going to go for the championship, or are you going to keep going?
Yeah, I'm going to stay there now. I wasn't sure where I was going to ride because of Caden. I didn't want to, he likes me to be out on track with him, but if he was going to run the schoolboy senior, I was going to go back to the afternoons so I could pit him and watch him ride. But now that he's going to stay in the afternoons, I'll just stay down there and ride that class. But, I did break for real on the last lap. That's no lie.
So what happened?
I came around on the third lap. My brother, I asked him on the second lap when I always pit, I said, "Where's second place?" And he goes, "I don't know." And I'm like, "You have one job." And you can't tell me. And he's like, "I don't know." He said, "Scoring's messed up." So I take off. And then when I come through the third lap, I don't stop. And he waves me over to stop. And I'm like, "What's he doing?" He's telling me to come here. And he's laughing. So I go over. And he's like, "You got a 9-minute lead." And I was like, "Okay." So I take off and I think, 9 minutes, I'll ride, but like make sure that I don't get stuck. That's just, how it is.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I go past the start finish, 3.5 mile mark. And I was a little aggressive and I about clipped a tree with the right wheel, just brushed a tree hard. And I was preparing for impact and it didn't happen. I just touched the tree. And then a second later, I heard a clack. I knew something broke. And I looked down at my right wheel, which I should have hit the tree with, and it was fine. And I'm like, it was weird. I looked at my left wheel. It was laying on its side. So I just, of course, cruised the bike to a stop. And the lower ball joint was broke. It was done.
Oh, wow.
So
but you still
actually,
had
what happened, the nut came off. And the ball joint was fine after I figured it out. So I got some people and I said, "Look, I got a decent leak. Let's try to get this thing fixed somehow." And we couldn't do it. So we got it back on, put some zip ties around it, and I rode it back to the pits. And just, I hope the guy got lapped or he didn't go on his last lap. And I just got lucky he didn't go out, I guess.
So you rode her to the finish line with the ball joint zip tied in.
That's a fact.
That's an awesome story right there, man. Well, listen, we're hoping to get back for multiple reasons, because one of the reasons we're hoping to get back is that we love racing with you, and you and I have had some great battles, bumper to bumper for 2 hours sometimes. So we're looking forward to getting back out there. We're figuring it's going to take us a little while to get back in shape. But so are you going to do any local racing this year, or are you just going to focus on the nationals?
Probably just the nationals. I'm down to one bike now. I sold the other bike until I can get another one. We're going to do some major brand switches here shortly. So we're in the mix.
Whoa. Now what?
Yeah, we're in the mix of doing some major changes. And
we're going to ride Polaris?
We're going to go to Sportsman Polaris's. I think the 2-stroke version.
Are you going to take the plunge?
No, I'm going to stay on Hondas, but Kate, I don't want to get into the $1 million question, but Caden's hybrid 250 never did materialize, and so we just decided we're going to sell his brand. He's got a brand new build that'll be done here in a couple of weeks. I got one more part ordered, and then we're not even going to ride it. We're just going to sell it and and just switch brands.
Look, everybody. Toby Hughes says, "No, you can't. Not my Honda brother."
Well, I won't. I'll still be on a Honda, but
All right. Okay. Well, we can live with that as long as the old guy stays with us old guys on the Hondas.
yeah. Well, how old are you now?
Oh man, I don't know if I can answer that.
I can.
I'm 53,
Okay.
and you're 50.
I'm 55, so I just
You're
moved.
55. You just
Now there
moved.
is one guy in my class for real that's fast as heck.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy that's got second, he is super fast. I mean, at my level.
So you got
I'm
two
not
wins.
fast. I mean, he's very competitive. I'm
Yeah,
like
I know.
every time I go somewhere, there's always someone in there.
Well, you are fast, so I'm not gonna let you talk that craziness. So, well, listen, man, I appreciate you joining us. Of course, good luck to you. Good luck to Caden also. And anybody you want to say thanks to while I got you on here?
Well, I mean, thanks for having us. It's a great show. Everything you guys do for the sport. Morgantown Power Sports, Recluse Clutches, ATV 4-Play, Scott Goggles. Of course, the great Kenda Tires, who did amazing job there Saturday
There
for
we
real.
go.
I'm telling you, them things was amazing. Caden said they were amazing too. I mean, he had, believe it or not, he never got stuck at all in the afternoon race. You know, and I was
stop
really
you right
worried
there.
about that.
I'm gonna stop you right there real quick because I really think that you and I had some questions on some of the stuff with Kenda when we first switched over. Of course, you and I have talked about that. We've talked with Drew and the guys about the things that we would like to see. And I really think I have seen a difference in the new compound that I really like. I really like a little bit of difference from last year to this year, and I felt like the front tire was a little better.
No, I had zero issues. I mean, Saturday it was greasy. And the bike was it was perfect. I mean, it really hooked. Once I figured out the air pressures, the tire ball pressures,
yeah,
and everything, I couldn't be happier. Like I said, I mean, I know they help us out with the tires, but the rears were always amazing, and now the fronts are really dialed in too. So no, I'm very happy with the tires. But no,
right,
thanks.
Drew.
I appreciate you having us, and
Absolutely, man.
we're gonna stay on here and enjoy the show.
Appreciate it, man. We'll look forward to seeing you. Will you be at the local this weekend just to bring Caden, or are you not gonna be there?
I'm not sure if we're gonna come for sure. I'm
Okay.
not quite sure if anybody's going to show up though.
All right, man. Well, listen, I look forward to seeing you Saturday. We'll be there. We'll catch up then. And again, thanks for spending some time with us.
All right, thanks. Take care.
See you, man. All right, guys, we're going to jump in here real quick before we move on to our next guest, which will here in a minute be Andrea Rogers. But I want to go over real quick our Dirt Dominators for this week. We've got what we kind of used as our benchmark to get you on this list was in the individual race for the general, you had to win by 5 minutes or more to be named a Dirt Dominator this week. So real quick, we're going to go through this. In the micro class, in the 50 senior 6-7-year-old, Bo Collins with a plus 5 minute win. In the 90 cc 8 to 12, Clayton Sampson had a win. In the schoolgirl junior 12 to 15, Averly Collins, she did 5 laps. Everybody else only did 4 or less. Girls senior 12 to 15, Gabriella Whitehead with a 7-minute win. And then our big Dirt Dominator in the micro class was Bryson Dickerson with a 20-minute win in the micro class. So he laid it down. In the morning in the morning race, in the 4x4B class, Colin Markowski. In the women's class, Morgan Johnson had a 6-minute win. In the women's C class, Janelle Jurasic with a 6-minute win. In the warrior class, of course, we already talked about Aaron Hendershot putting down a 6+ minute win. In the 19C class, Colby Baker. In the 24 plus C class, it was Dylan Cooper. He ran 4 laps. Everybody else only ran 3. In the Masters 50 plus class, Dave Machisco, the ones kicking all of our butts every week, had a 5+ minute win. In the Silver Masters class, we just talked to him, Nick Lambruno with an 8-9 minute win. In the afternoon in College A, James Glotta with a 5-minute win. Junior B class, Colin Dunn, 4 laps. Everybody else only ran 3. In the Senior B class, 40 plus, Rick Marino ran 4 laps. Everybody else ran 3. And for the year, up to date, to be a dirt dominator, you had to have multiple wins and could not have anything less than a second place in the first 3 races. So in the youth class, we have in the 250 13 to 15 class, we have Aiden Allenball with a second and 2 firsts. In the schoolgirl senior class, Madison Luckadoo with a second and 2 firsts. In schoolgirl junior 12 to 15, Avery Collins with 3 firsts. In the girls senior 12 to 15, Gabriella Whitehead with 2 firsts and a second. And in the 70 CVT class, Bryson Dickerson with 3 in a row. 4x4A, 3 wins for Gavin Jenkins. In the senior 40 plus class, Christopher Riggin, 2 wins and a second. The warrior class, Chris Ballou with 2 wins and a second. In the schoolboy junior 13 to 15, Emma Probst with a third and 2 wins. In the 40C class, one of our guests, Mike Horwat with 3 wins. In the Silver Masters class, Nick Lambruno, 2 wins and a second. And in the Golden Masters 60 plus class with a second and 2 wins, Mark Thomas. In the afternoon class, the XC2 class, Jay Shad ran with 3 wins. College A, James Galata with 3 wins. And that wraps up our Dirt Dominators for this episode of Life Behind the Pros. All right, so with that little hashtag there the comment, we are about to bring up our third guest of the night. Without any further ado, we're going to be talking to Andrea Rogers. So she just moved up to Women's Pro this year, and she is actually our dirt disaster for this episode of Life Behind the Pros because she was having a phenomenal race, and we're going to let her tell us about what happened. So we are going to welcome now to the show, Andrea Rogers.
Hi.
What's up, Andrea? How are you, hon?
I'm good. How are you?
I am excellent. So thanks for hanging out with us. Hank, thanks for waiting for us to be able to get you on here. So Andrea, before we get into talking specifically about the general, tell us a little bit about your thought process and everything leading up to you deciding to make the leap to Women's Pro this year.
I mean, it was definitely a hard decision to decide to move from Women's Amateur to Women's Pro, but honestly, at one point in time, it had to be done. So it was when, I don't know. I think I just decided, what do I have to lose? So I went for it. And along the way, I saw a lot of people that did not agree with my decision. And honestly, I just wanted to prove them wrong. I just wanted to do it. Just go for it.
Well, anytime you make a leap like that, you're going to have people who think you're ready and people who think you aren't. So I think that leads us to, I think you answered some questions at the general about what you were able to do there at that race. So tell us a little bit about your week leading up to going to the general. Tell us a little bit about getting there and what you did before the race, and then we'll talk a little bit about the race specifically.
Well, in Florida, it all starts there. I did not have a good race at all. I wasn't feeling good. I didn't really eat, and I was very dehydrated. I thought I was going to pass out. I thought I was a goner, not going to lie.
Were these the pictures? Were these the pictures of people pouring water on you and trying to revive you?
Yeah. Yes. So I talked to Adam's sister Haley, and I tried to get some a good routine to try and get into. I talked to Hannah Hunter about something I could get in, something I could eat before the race, something I could drink. That way I had something in me. And I ended up trying oatmeal and hard-boiled eggs, which everyone was staring at me on the line because I was eating my hard-boiled eggs, but it clearly got me somewhere. So it was better than Florida.
You ate those right before the race?
On the starting line, yep.
Oh my God. Oh, I don't know about that. Well, it works. So I'm assuming now you're going to eat hard-boiled eggs before every race?
Of course, 2 hard-boiled eggs on the starting line.
All right, so I got a video here we're going to try to bring on, and you and I can talk just a little bit about what's going on with this video. And I'm going to bring back to the beginning, and this is you on the starting line. So before I play it, tell us a little bit about what happened right off the start.
Right off the start, my bike fired very quickly. I was not expecting it to fire that quickly, and I went in. I think I was like third off the start. I went into the woods in second, and I was pretty proud because I went in the woods right behind Tracy. I was excited.
So that second video right there, I'm gonna back it up just a little bit. That second video is right after the start, and that is you going into the woods second. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So right there, after that point, of course, that's obviously very early on. Tell us a little bit about what happened right after, not too long after this.
About the 4.5 mile marker, I was able to pass Tracy. And when I did, I was like, no way, this is not real life. Like, I am not leading this race right now. And as soon as I did, I told myself, I need to keep in the first place position to go past my parents. Like, I've got to show them. Like,
That's hilarious.
I was like, I have to show them. Like, I can tell them, but that's not the same as like showing them.
So you're saying that if you wouldn't have made it through there staying in first, they might have questioned whether you actually were leading or not?
I mean, wouldn't anybody ever?
Well, I mean, I get it. I mean, you still don't believe I caught you at the first race, so this is still a mystery.
Listen, she's proven that she's way faster than you more than one time.
All right, so you get the lead. All right, what happens after you get the lead?
I knew they were back there, and I tried to stay calm because I didn't want to ride over my head and make a mistake. I mean, I led for the first, I think, 2.5 laps, and
Yes.
I hit a tree. And
So listen, I got to tell you, here at the Harvey household, we were honestly acting a fool about you being in the lead. And I will admit, just like you said with your parents, I might have said to my wife, there must be something wrong with live scoring. She's in the lead. So nothing personal but I just thought, because you were running in that 4th and 5th and 6th spot the first couple races, that was about where you seemed to settle in, where you were comfortable, and then all of a sudden you're winning. But then I also told my wife, I said, you know what though? I said, it's muddy. Anything can happen in the mud. There could have been a bottleneck. She could have got to the front because of a bottleneck, but come to find out, you just flat out made the pass and took the lead.
yeah, I was very shocked. So was everybody. When I went by, everybody kind of seemed a little surprised.
So what was the look on your parents' face when you came by?
Did your mom cry? I would have been crying.
I don't think my mom cried. But my dad, I could see how he was just like, he was shocked.
Was he like, was that really her?
They said that they already knew because of live scoring, because I went through scoring before I got to them.
I got you.
But you know.
All right, so you hit a tree. What happens
did.
next?
Tracy and Jessica both passed me there. And after that, I stopped and I pit and I asked them like what place I'm in. They were like, you're in third, go. And right after that, as soon as I get in the woods, Hannah's right on me. And I was like, I was freaking out and I was just trying to stay calm. She got around me. And I was like, I just like fell off the podium position now. And I was like freaking out at this point. And I was still trying to stay calm, you know. And I was able to get around Tracy and I got around Jessica. And I was in second. Feeling good.
All right.
Good.
So here, I'm going to show real quick. You go into this turn and right there, I saw my first puff of smoke in your video. And then on our last clip, here you're coming, and what happens?
Yeah, we're pretty sure that she overheated. We aren't completely sure yet. She went to the shop today, so.
Okay. All right. So did the bike just shut off at this point?
I made it a couple miles further. It shut off, and Brian Wolf was there, and he was trying to keep me calm as possible because at this point I'm really upset. And he got it, like we got it going again. I went about half mile and it shut off, and that was that.
Well, listen, so you and I have already talked a little bit this week. I talked with your dad a little bit too. So if nothing else, this has to be a boost of confidence for you and your decision to make this move.
Yes, it definitely was.
So, I mean, so now how do you feel about next round? Are you looking forward to it? Are you anxious? What's your thoughts?
I'm a little everything. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm feeling good though. I am.
Yeah. So what is your plan between now and then? I mean, we kind of talked, your dad and I kind of talked, didn't know if you were going to do a lot of locals in between now. So how are you going to stay ready for next round?
Well, I have track practice every day. We work out. I've been, in my off season, I was trying to eat like a lot healthier. And so.
All right. Well, listen, we are super excited to see what happens from here. Just because, I mean, once you've done it once, then it is possible. So
right.
It's an opportunity for you to continue to maybe now, instead of running in that 4, 5, 6 spot, you can be more thinking about running in that 1, 2, 3 spot.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Listen, appreciate you coming on and joining us. I know you got some people you'd like to thank. So who would you like to thank for getting you this far?
Yeah, I couldn't thank my mom, my dad, my grandma, my grandpa enough. I mean, I obviously would not be here if it wasn't for them. Stewart Boys Racing, Action Off-Road Camp, big help. Kenda Tires, Advanced Sleeve, Blood Lubricants, Buckeye Mechanical, Billy Craig, Kinetic Gasket, SSR, Derisi, Fly Racing, Hauser, Jet Trim, Sunstar, Motowaz, Off-Road Vixens, MEK, Diego, Explicit, Tire Spine, Wasner, Senge Graphics, the Gorels, the Stickleys, everybody else that gets in here.
Well, listen, I know you got a ton of people behind you, and a ton of people were excited about what they got to see. You got Kevin Presnell there saying, "I swear I heard it in her motor when she went by," and then it's like he's like prodding your dad to go to the MSXC this Saturday. So now, listen, if you're going local racing this Saturday, you know the only place that we expect to see you is at the new East Coast race.
I know.
Don't be venturing out going anywhere else.
You never know.
Ronnie Paul Wilson says that's why you need a Yamaha. So
Ronnie Wilson will never quit until I ride a Yamaha.
Listen,
he will never stop.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. And then here we got Sandy Dotson saying, "Great job, Andrea." So I know you got a lot of people behind you, Andrea. We definitely thank you for taking the time to hang out with us tonight, and we look forward to having you on the show again. So here's our deal.
Okay.
You get a win, and we will have you back, and you can tell us all about getting your first win in the women's pro class.
Okay.
Does that sound good? Andrea, thanks again, hon. We'll let you go. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome, hon. Bye-bye. All right, guys. So that is Andrea Rogers, women's pro. And again, talking to her in the off season, her goals for the off season were just to kind of hang around the top 5 and hope to be competitive. And it took her 3 races to get in the mix up in the top 3 and actually lead a race for a little while. So Ronnie Paul Wilson says, "I have 36 years experience." Listen, Ronnie Paul, you also used to be a 250R guy, so you used to be a Honda guy, so I don't want to hear that completely. So, hey, Ronnie Paul, tell Seth to jump on here. We're waiting to see Seth to talk about the round 1 of the new East Coast Series. So, Clay, if we can, while we're waiting, remind folks if you can and you haven't already, we would like you to jump in and get in the comments and put a comment, #HardcoreNation, to enter you in. Even if you've already entered, I need you to try to enter again and see. I think you've got to use all capital letters for the hardcore and then nation would just be spelled regular to get your entry, because right now way more of you than 3 of you have entered. It's only showing 3 entries. So if you're still on here, if you don't mind, try again. I want to make sure we get how to use this part of the program. So sorry. All right, give me just a second. I'm gonna send Seth one more invite real quick. And Clay, jump back on here for just a second if you don't mind.
Yo, here we are.
XC. So real quick, while I'm seeing if I can get him on here, remind folks about next Tuesday that the point system is going to change a little bit, and we're going to go over that next Tuesday. But give folks just a little bit of background.
Sure. So we were talking last week, and Dad, we were trying to remember what the point system was for last season, and I couldn't find my old documents, and so we just said, all right, this time we're going to do, if you get a podium, it's 3 points, and then if you get the correct position, it's 3, 2, 1 for first, second, and third. But it takes more skill to get the correct person in the correct position. So to emphasize that part of the game, we are reallocating the points. So you still get the 3 points if you get the correct person in the podium. But if you get the first place correct, you get 9 points. If you get the second place correct, you get 6. And if you get the third place correct, you get 3. So a total of 27 points possible for each category, as opposed to 21 for a perfect in the old scoring system. So it just emphasizes or incentivizes you to try and get the correct person on the correct position.
Good deal.
That's the only change we're making.
All right, so we're going to talk more about that on Tuesday. Again, we're going to pick live on Tuesday. We want you guys to pick with us next Tuesday. So I'm going to bring up this graphic. It is time to get our local race series started off. And this coming weekend, we got several local series getting underway, but none of them are more important to us than the new East Coast series. The Ronnie Paul Wilson family, Seth Wilson and all the crew, they're kicking off this weekend at CJ Raceway. And we're going to talk to Seth here, tell us a little bit about what he's been doing. Actually, I think Seth is at the track, or he's been at the track, because it looked like he's in the dark. So let's bring him on, Clay, and see what we got. What is up, Seth?
Oh, nothing. Just hanging out at the track, man.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, must be. You got a campfire going and everything else?
Just some hanging lights.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Well, Seth, hey, real quick. So first of all, everybody's excited for it to be kickoff weekend for the new East Coast series. With the prices of gas and things for people to travel. Listen, man, a lot of people are going to be looking at our local series as their national series. So you guys looking to put on a good show this Saturday. Tell us a little bit about the track if you can.
I'm really hoping that the weather holds out. I mean, it's actually a little bit dusty right now on the main road in, which is crazy to me. But I rode around today, and I mean, it's pretty good, honest to goodness. And I hope that it stays that way, and that we can have a good weekend.
All right. So what do you got in store? What kind of track layout you got for us? You got any mileages on us? Anything on the micro track, the youth track? What can you share?
I don't have any mileage yet, but I definitely intend on having, a 1.5 miles at least micro track. Hopefully can get 3.5 to 4 miles for the youth, and I'd love to get 8 miles for the adults.
8. So you're shooting for 8 mile adult track. Actually, I think the weather looks pretty good, man.
I mean, I hope it stays that way. It's been every time I look at it, it changes. I mean, it's ridiculous. West Virginia thing. Apparently.
Power of positive thinking, man. It's gonna be a great day.
Yeah.
All right. So hey, I know that not only is Kenda sponsoring the new East Coast series, you're also a Kenda distributor now. So there's a lot of things that are all Kenda around the new East Coast series. And I know you're going to have you picked out the spot for our Kenda Riders Row for the first round?
Yes, I have. it's going to be right off the gravel, as soon as you go past the front gate. And as of right now, we're actually supposed to have at least one vendor coming.
Excellent.
And I was going to put him there too. And I hope it all works out. And if you guys could all put your tents on where they're supposed to be this time, that'd be great.
All right, so all you Kenda riders out there, listen, Ronnie Paul and Seth and the New East Coast Series is doing us a real cool thing and giving us a special spot to pit together. So if you are a Kenda sponsored rider and you are coming to the New East Coast Series this weekend, there's going to be a special pit area for all Kenda riders. A lot of us bring our Kenda canopies and we put them all together side by side. And we really want this to be a cool event for Team Kenda, and we can share some camaraderie and hang out and get to know each other, all part of the Kenda team. And last year it was something that was really cool, worked out really well. So Seth, we thank you for doing that again this year, and of course your family and everything else. But so we'll be there. We're not going to race Saturday, but we'll be there. We're going to come support the series. We're going to do some testing, Seth, with our live stream to see whether we can pull it off with the micro and the youth race. So we're going to do some testing with that and hopefully kind of share that as part of next week's show and see what we can actually nail down for future races. And if we can pull that off, we're going to, again, try to have some type of live stream from the New East Coast tracks for the micro and the youth races, where we actually try to do a miniature version, much smaller version of the GNCC Live. But again, just trying to make something extra special about the New East Coast race. Really hope folks will come out and support this series. They do a great job. They run things on time. They keep things moving. They know how to set up a great track for quads. You're not going to come out to a New East Coast race and tear up your stuff and have to go put $400 and $500 worth of work into your quad after a New East Coast race. So hats off to Seth and Ronnie for knowing how to lay that out. Devin Masters says that you need to make him some sweet lines.
He's riding a Suzuki. He's going to need them.
And then Toby Hughes says, Big City can look pretty under that Kenda tent with some new shoes. Yes, sir. Toby Hughes just got himself a brand new set of Kenda tires also. So we're looking forward to adding Toby to the Kenda race team this year. And so, Seth, anything else you want to share with us before we wrap this up?
I don't think so. There's definitely a lot of other things that we're working on here, and we're going to have posted soon. Hopefully we're, going to have a big race, a big deal this summer as one of our special events. And it's going to be ATV only. So I know you'll like that.
Yeah, I forgot that.
So hopefully that pans out and we can have all the details up here shortly. Quite a few people are already in the loop about it. And
yes. Listen, that's going to be a big event, man. So I know you and I have talked. Everybody's hesitant. We don't have all the details nailed down. But, folks, if you are into ATV racing, and particularly around this area on the East Coast, you need to make plans once we announce the date. You need to make plans to come attend this event anywhere on the East Coast. Come be a part of it. We're trying to make this thing huge. It's going to be a cool event, team race, endurance race. And I think the Wilsons are just the right people to work with Kenda and put this on. So no pressure, Seth. It better be good.
Yeah, don't worry. I think we got it under control.
Good deal. Well, Seth, we're looking forward to seeing you Saturday, man. Thanks for jumping on here from the track live and giving us a little update.
All right. Thanks, man. Bye.
See you, man. Oh, Ronnie Paul. Ronnie Paul, did you see the comments? I'm shocked he threw up a date for us. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Ronnie Paul is officially putting out that the 9-hour endurance race will be July the 16th. So location to be determined. But there you have it. So make your plans to come up this way. If you're within 5 or 6 hours of this thing, I think it would be something well worth your time to get some buddies, get involved, and come bring a team and make this first ever East Coast endurance race, something special. So again, going to be 3-man teams, and then more details coming. But yeah, let's start promoting this thing and make this thing a big deal. So guys, I think that takes us through pretty much everything we had on tap for episode 3 of Life Behind the Pros. We want to thank, of course, all of our guest riders tonight. I want to thank Mike Horwat. I want to thank Nick Lambruno. I want a big thanks to Andrea Rogers. Thanks to Seth Wilson. Always thanks to my beautiful wife, Taylor, for helping me here from the cheap seats. And
listen, my seat was free. Thank you very much.
And I would definitely want to thank and bring back one more time the former co-host of Life Behind the Pros, XC-Lay, my son, Clay Harvey. Clay, definitely appreciate you being with us also. And we are going to wrap up with, let's see. Oh, what is this? Harold Rice, can bikes do the Kenda 9-hour? I think that's going to be, I think that might be a no.
Yeah, it sounds like it's ATV only.
I think it's going to be quads only. So
get yourself a Honda, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, get you a Honda, get you a 4-wheeler, come out and run with us. All right. So we're going to throw this drawing up.
Yeah, try and refresh it, and that may populate everybody that's put the hashtag in recently.
Okay, when you say refresh it, I don't know. Right here. Okay, yeah. Here we go.
Now, did it get you more entries in there?
Well, that makes me really nervous.
And if we have to, we can just pull from the chat.
Oh, there we go. Yes. Here we go.
What you're talking about, Clay.
Nice job, Clay Harvey. All right, so we're going to bring this back up on the stream, and again, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. We're going to close up with our drawing for some swag, and here we go. Good luck. All right, Brian Kiger. Brian Kiger is our winner, our first official winner that we actually got to draw live on the show. Congratulations, Brian. If you're going to be at the new East Coast race this weekend, shoot me a message, and I will bring your swag with me. Tell me what size you need, and if you're not going to be there, let me know, and we'll put it out in the mail to you. So very cool.
And,
we got
for our fantasy, who won the who was the guest fantasy winner? It was Xander White, right?
Xander White. So Xander, if you're out there, I need you to get a hold of me. Shoot me a message on what size sponsorship shirt that you want us to send out to you. We'll get that out to you as well. So guys, just keep in mind, next Tuesday, we'll be back. We'll be talking about new East Coast race next Tuesday specifically, and hopefully with some good news about the live streaming of the youth race. And also, I think we're going to have Larry Mills with DP Brakes on if it's in his schedule. We're going to try to have Brandy Toulouse on. She was supposed to be on tonight, but she had a family situation she had to postpone. So if you don't know anything about her, she's a big promoter and racer out west of ATV and a lot of the flat track racing and some stuff like that. So we're looking forward to talking to somebody with a little bit different perspective on ATV racing. And then we will get into our fantasy picks. And of course, we'll have 2 or 3 local rider spotlights next week as well. So XC-Lay, appreciate you jumping on here and being back with us, man.
No problem. I'll be here anytime I can. But I think it's in the can, as it were.
Absolutely. This episode of Life Behind the Pros, Season 3, Episode 3, is in the can. And just remember, folks, just like we say in Hardcore Nation, and all you do, go hardcore. Thanks for being with us.
1